Friends, today we will discuss about the meaning of international business. As you have studied about internal trade in the previous chapter, so I hope that it is very much clear to you that what is internal trade. The reverse of internal trade is international business or international trade, but there is little bit difference between international business and international trade also, that we will study later in the video of today only. So let us start with the meaning of the international business. So business transactions taking place within the geographical boundaries of a nation is known as domestic or national business. It is also referred to as internal business or home trade. This you have studied in the last chapter. After that, manufacturing and trade beyond the boundaries of one's own country is known as international business. So, when we start doing business by crossing the borders of our country and deal with the other countries, then it takes the form of international business. International or external business can therefore be defined as those business activities that take place across the national frontiers. It involves not only the international movement of goods and services but also of capital, personal, technology, intellectual property like patents, trademarks, know how, and copyrights. So, beta, international business is a very wide term and it includes the purchase and sale of goods and services, and not only goods and services. Other than that, international business also includes the movement of capital, movement of personal, means your working people, movement of technology, upgraded technology that is transferred from one country to another country, and intellectual property rights also like patent right, trademarks, know-how, and copyrights. These are also traded in international business. It may be mentioned here that mostly people think of international business as international trade. So this was the difference I was talking about, that there is a difference between international business and international trade. When we compare both these terms, then international business is a much wider term, but international trade have a limited scope. But this is not true. No doubt, international trade comprising export and import of goods has historically been an important component of international business. Right? So this is clear from this by reading this line, that international trade includes the export and imports of goods and services only. And this has been a historical concept. We are doing import and export of goods and services from last many years. But of late, the scope of international business has substantially expanded. The scope of international business is very wide. International trade in services such as international travel and tourism. We are talking about we are talking about here the services which have been traded, such as international travel and tourism services, transportation services, communication, banking, warehousing, distribution, and advertising. These are a part of international business, right? It means international business includes international trade as well as the trade in form of these services which I have read right now. The other equally important developments are increased foreign investment and overseas production of goods and services. Companies have started increasingly making investment into foreign countries and undertaking production of goods and services in foreign countries to come closer to foreign customers and serve them more efficiently at lower cost. Our companies, the Indian companies, are going and set up their business in other countries, foreign countries, and foreign companies are also coming and also come and set up their business in India. So this is the main reason that international business is expanding. We are trying, and almost every businessman is trying to provide good quality of goods, and not only good quality but also at cheaper rates to the customers and satisfy the needs of the customers. All these activities form part of international business. To conclude, now we are concluding. To conclude, we can say that international business is a much broader term. and it comprised of both the trade and production of goods and services across frontiers, right? So we can conclude that international business include not only trade of finished goods, okay, it includes, but it also includes the production of goods and services across different countries around the world. That is why international business is a much wider term. Now look at the reasons for international business. We will read the reasons for international business now. The fundamental reason behind international business is that the countries cannot produce equally well or cheaply all that they need. This is because of the unequal distribution of natural resources among them or differences in their productivity level. So this is the main reason that beta why we need to import or why we need to export, because all the countries in the world does not have equal and efficient resources with them. They cannot produce each and every product because resources are either very less in quantity with them or not available at all. So this is the reason that we are indulging in import and export of goods. This is because of the unequal distribution of natural resources among them or differences in the productivity level. Availability of various factors of production such as labor, capital and raw material that are required for producing different goods and services differ among nations. So these are the four factors of production which we require: land, labor and capital and entrepreneur. So these are not equally available in all the countries. If you compare in your own country, then you will see that water is not available in all the states. You will notice that in some states water is available in abundant quantity, but in some states water is not available at all. Like in Rajasthan, we feel there is a huge scarcity of water. So we can, looking by this example, we can say that resources are not equally available in all the countries across the world. Moreover, labor productivity and production costs differ among nations due to various socio-economical, geographical and political reasons. Other than that, the cost of producing goods and services, it is different in different countries depending upon their geographical conditions, political reasons and socio-economic situations. Now, due to these differences, it is not uncommon to find one particular country being in a better position to produce better quality products and at lower cost than what other nations can do. So due to these reasons which we studied, there is a lot of differences in the cost of producing goods and services in different countries. Some countries can produce goods at lower cost, but some countries have to bear a huge cost in producing goods and services because of the unavailability of various factors of production. In other words, we can say that some countries are in an advantageous position in producing select goods and services which other countries cannot produce that effectively and efficiently, and vice versa. As a result, each country finds it advantageous to produce those selected goods and services that it can produce more efficiently and effectively at home, and procuring the rest through trade with other countries, which the other countries can produce at lower cost. This is precisely the reason as to why countries trade with others and exchange in what is known as international business, right? So beta, due to these reasons, when suppose we take an example that country A and country B, if two countries are there and the resources available are such that country A can produce more of rice but country B can produce more of wheat, then it will be beneficial to both the countries that they can produce whatever the resources they have, and other which they cannot produce they can import from the other country. So this is the reason that how we indulge in international business, because there is a lot of differences in the production cost. If we cannot produce some goods cheaply in our country, then what we can do is we can import them from the country where these are available very cheaply and in sufficient quantity. And with our what resources we have and what we can produce with our resources, we can produce them in much quantity and export them to those countries which cannot produce such type of goods cheaply. Look at the next paragraph. The international business as it exists today is to a great extent the result of geographical specializations as pointed out above. Fundamentally, it is for the same reason that domestic trade between two states or regions within a country takes place. Most states or regions within a country tends to specialize in the production of goods and services for which they are best suited. In India, for example, while West Bengal specializes in jute products, Mumbai and neighboring areas in Maharashtra are more involved with the production of cotton textile. The same principle of territorial divisions of labor is applicable at the international level too, right beta? So this is the example which you have, which we can see that Mumbai and other neighboring areas in Maharashtra are more specialized in the production of cotton textiles because of the geographical features which Mumbai and Maharashtra have, because the soil they have is a black soil which is most useful for the production of cotton, and other states like West Bengal is more specialized in the jute because water is available there in abundant quantity. So geographical features are more responsible for the production. The same principle is also followed within different countries also. Most developing countries which are labor abundant, for instance, specializes in producing and exporting garments. Since they back capital and technology, they import textile machinery from the developed nations, which the later are in position to produce more efficiently. And beta other example is given to you, like if a country is there which have high population, with it can use the population in the production of mostly in the business of garments, because labor can be utilized in such kind of business. What is true for the nation is more or less true for firms. Firms too engage in international business to import what is available at lower prices in other countries and export goods to other countries where they can fetch better prices for their product. Besides price consideration, there are several other benefits which nations and firms derive from the international business. In a way, these other benefits too provide an impetus to nations and firms to engage in international business. We shall turn our attention to some of these benefits occurring to nations and firms from engaging in international business in a later section. So, beta, price, or we can say profit, is the main reason that we are indulging in international business. We supply, or we can say that we export such kind of goods to other countries which we are giving good quality of prices, which will give us good profit, good margin of profit, and we try to import goods at cheaper rates from those countries where these are produced in large quantities. So price or profit is the main reason that we are indulging in international business. But other than price or profit, other reasons are also there, like we are trying to make development, we are trying to get better technologies from other countries, better infrastructure from other countries. So these are the main reasons that we are indulging in international business.